What's up, YouTube? First and foremost, I want to thank all my subscribers. I want to thank everybody hitting the like button and dropping comments. Even if you don't know what to say in a comment, man, put a smiley face, put a waving, just say hi. All that stuff helps. Run those likes up and run the subscribers. We're growing every single day. I really appreciate you. I'm going to jump straight into this video, though. Becoming a truck driver in 2024. It's very important that you watch this whole thing because I've seen a lot of videos on this. We'll get into some crazy details. I'm going to talk about things that aren't on other videos. So I'm not here trying to sway you to go to a certain company. A lot of those videos, in my opinion, are trying to do just that. They want to go ahead and get that referral. No referrals here, nothing like that. So, who am I? Right, real quick, just give you my little elevator pitch of who I am. I've had my Class A CDL for a little bit over 3 years, 2 years verifiable. 2 years of, well, yeah, a little bit over 2 years of verifiable work. I got my CDL 2020. With everything going on, switched careers, went that way, right? I am homeless. I do live in my car. I do have trucking content on here, normally some crazy stories. I have a recent, I have other videos why I'm homeless, why I live in my car, why I quit trucking. But I think that I can really help people out so they can know what to expect. They all, in my opinion, when I was about to be a truck driver, I did research. I wanted to know what company to roll with. I wanted to know what I could expect. I wanted to know other people's, experiences. The truth is a lot of them lie or they fabricate or they want to make their video a certain way. I'm going to be honest and authentic and talk to you guys. So, becoming a truck driver in 2024. Let's say that, okay, so we're going straight from the ground bottom. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to tell you some of the stuff, right? You're going to go with a mega carrier. I mean, I'm going to suggest, there's a lot of ways that you can accomplish this. I'm going to tell you what I suggest. So if I say, hey, you should do this, I mean, do your research and try to figure it out. But I'm going to be honest, and if you're like-minded and if you trust with me, maybe roll with what I say. However, you're your own person, so use your own discretion. If you have a felony, you can be a truck driver. A mega carrier can and will take you. It depends on what your crimes are. I have a clean background, so I want to throw that out. I knew somebody who had 2 felonies, and one of them was a manufacturing charge. And I'm going to tell you, so becoming a truck driver, if you were to watch this and be like, oh, I could never be a truck driver because I have this charge. There's a couple charges that that if you have, they're not going to open the door for you. Anything that involves a child, if you know what I mean, being a diaper sniffer, being a creepazoid, being a freak, being somebody who doesn't deserve to be around, somebody that there's a special place in hell for you. If you're like that, then trucking don't want you, and the rest of us don't want you either. That's just me being honest. I'm at my friend's house right now, so I do live in my car, like I said, but I'm at a friend's house doing some laundry. They're cool. They're letting me do my laundry. Couldn't, decided to shoot a video. I post every day, and it's a little bit later than I normally post, but it's busy, man. It's, just a couple days till Christmas. It's almost New Year's, so figure becoming a truck driver 2024 was appropriate, and this is going to be very valuable information, right? So if you got a felony, or you got a couple of them, the way that you're going to want to go ahead and get into a mega carrier and stuff like that is by showing that you have hard work ethic. So when you call a recruiter, you're going to let them, before you even call the recruiter, or before you even call the place, you go ahead and you get your permit, right? Now, if you call a trucking place and you're like, yeah, I have this felony or I have this charge against me and stuff like that, maybe they'll be nice. But if you call, if you call and be like, hey, I already have my permit. And when you get your permit, I would encourage you to get your tanker endorsement. There's a couple particular mega carriers that are running refrigerated units that want you to have your tanker endorsement. It's pretty easy. So, becoming a truck driver in 2024, if you have felonies, you can do it. Don't when you talk to the recruiter, you don't let them know. Not that you don't let them know. You don't take a long time to respond. When you call, you are ready to rock and roll. That means that when she says, here's the list of the things that I need, from your birth certificate to a copy of your social security card, to your work history, to the last 3 residences that you've lived in, let's say the last 7 years or whatever, right? Whatever they ask for, you get it quick. You get it right to them. Then on top of doing that, You should be able to text message or have their number or their email, and you let them know. You ask for a confirmation. Recruiters, generally, if you take a long time and you're dragging your feet, they're answering the phone and they're dealing with somebody else. If you're really quick and stuff like that, that recruiter is going to go to bat with you. The person I know that had 2 felonies that got into a mega carrier, that's what he did. I know that I've dealt with recruiters before, and I'm always quick and fast with everything. I let them know up front, I'm probably going to annoy you, but I want to know everything that you need from me. And okay, you need to copy this, you need to copy that, you need to copy that. It's no problem. Boom, 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 boom. Send it in quick. So I recommend before you even call recruiters, if you've made up your mind you want to be a truck driver, the first thing that I would tell you to do is go get your permit. Get your permit and get your tanker endorsement. I'll tell you, there's apps on your phone, right? Download an app. Takes a couple, and those questions on those apps, right? I think it's literally just called Class A app, something like that. No big deal. All you have to do is go in the Google Play Store if you're an Android user, and you'll find it. I don't know nothing about apples, so get that. And you basically start answering those questions. You won't know the answers. Read the questions, read the answers, and you keep doing it until you have it memorized. Those questions are so close to what's on the test that when you go ahead and take the test, you're going to know what answer. Before you even finish the sentence, you're going to know what answer you're looking for. You memorize it, and then you should also pay attention, because that stuff is valuable information. When you go into trucking school or when you're out on the road, you're going to have to remember, what are the rules? You know what I'm saying? So it's important that you remember all that stuff. Right? So you get your permit first, then you're going to want to know what carrier to go with. Okay, there's a lot of mega carriers out there. I would tell you, instead of giving good advice and telling you, hey, use this one, use that one, I'm going to tell you some of the ones not to go. CR England, especially the one in Salt Lake City, Utah. From my understanding, they, I actually should probably watch what I say. I would suggest not going there. Okay, maybe I should just, because I don't want anybody saying that it's slander. I would suggest not going there for a lot of reasons. Use your imagination. In fact, I would never go through CR England. I didn't go through CR England. From my understanding, I know that there's people that make money there, but from my understanding, they, at least just from an experience standpoint, so without saying anything crazy, you are not going to be ready. This is not absolute. A lot of people will not be ready when they get their own truck with that company, from what I've seen. You're going to want to go with a company that, is going to pay you, something halfway decent. I mean, Prime and Swift, kind of jump in my head, their trucks are going to be slow. You got Schneider, you got Warner, you got, there's a lot of different companies. This isn't where I tell you which one's the best, but I'm going to tell you a lot of stuff that's going to apply to whatever decision you decide to go to. You're going to use this information that I give you in a positive way, and it's going to help guide you. At least that's my hope. So, you get your permit. Told you to study the app. Get your tanker endorsement. From the moment that you talk to a recruiter and you're doing everything, I want you to picture that this is a job interview. Okay? Job interview starts when you call a recruiter. What are some things that you can expect? A lot of places will rent you a car. More often than not, they'll try to get you a bus ticket or train ticket. They'll say that they will reimburse your gas if you drive your own vehicle. I'm going to tell you right now, they're not. They never did with me, and I stick with companies. They just never did it. A lot of stuff that you pay out of pocket, like they're like, hey, you can rent a car, and we'll pay you later. No, I've had to do that, and I've never gotten paid. It's just some bullshit. You can chase them around and say, hey, I'm not moving this truck until I get paid. Okay, cool. This is a puppy mill, man. This is a mega carriers. This is, and you should know what to expect. A lot of them want 1 year of your working. So you're going to work for that company for a year. They're going to go ahead and try to hold things over you. Like, when you're inside trucking school, they're going to tell you, if you don't stick here for the year, you have to pay back $8,000 or $10,000, something along those lines. I'll let you know this much. I was in classes with people who left within a week or two. I've known people who were out there for 2 or 3 months and then left. They never, nothing ever hit their credit. That doesn't mean it can't happen, but from my understanding, is that there are government contracts where by helping people, because this is a very small, like this industry needs people, that there's government funding or something along those lines, helping people in certain areas get their license, and in fact the government is paying them. So if the government is paying the mega carrier to help acquire people in poverty or to help this industry out, how are they going to come and try to sue you or put something against your credit when you don't own anything? The government paid for it. So who really is out of money? You can't collect money if you're not out of it. You know what I'm saying? But you should definitely reach out to a credit specialist or a financial person. But in my experience, no, they don't come after it. And that also my experience that if somebody was to do that, you could get a credit specialist and they'll knock it off. Because what if they said you have to work here for a year, and the first thing that they ask you to do is something illegal? They ask you to pull a trailer that's got a big flat tire and they want you to drive it 200 miles and they don't get it fixed. Or what if somebody says something bad to you and you have to leave the company? They can't hold that stuff against you, man. Use your brain a little bit. But you want to go into a mega carrier and you want to stay with them for a year. So, don't be too afraid to leave if you have to. But also at the same time, you want that experience, right? So inside truck driving school, all they're going to teach you is how to get your license. They are not going to teach you what to do out on the road. Your real training starts after you get your license. The whole time while you're in trucking school, treat it like it's a job interview, man. If you are sitting or they ask you to move a truck bobtail, or you're not taking it serious, you're laughing and joking, you're pulling your cell phone out and you're posting in their Facebook groups, whatever the mega carrier's name is, you're doing all that stuff, they're going to ask you to leave, and this is not a promise to a job. They're going to make you leave. They're going to kick you out. And I've seen it happen. I've seen this girl, acting like it's a damn fashion show, man, trying to climb up on top of the hood of a tractor and take pictures, and she keeps posting in their little group about little things that she doesn't agree with. They just told her to leave. That's another thing too. If you're a smoker, right? Don't be going outside smoking every 2-3 minutes or every 20 minutes. A lot of the instructors and a lot of the truckers, they smoke, right? So, but you want to, you're there for a reason. It's okay to make friends there. I actually would encourage that. I know some people are like, don't do it. Stay to yourself. You're there for a mission and don't care about anybody else. But when you first get there, right? There's a lot of stuff that you'll learn with that particular company by the, it's not what you know, it's who you know. I got brand new trucks by people that I met. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew somebody when I went to go ahead and get a truck or whatever. They're like, hey, go talk to this dispatcher and let them know that that I said hello. I went ahead and did that, and boom. I'm like, what kind of I went ahead and did that, and they're like, what are you looking to do? I'm looking to go ahead and have my own truck, and then I do want to do teams at some point, and then if things go cool, I want to do some training. But I'm really looking for a Freightliner, and I'm looking for something brand new. So got you, boom, So it does help to know people, and the way that you don't be shy. I'm a shy person. I really don't show it. When I was a kid, I was a lot more shyer and stuff like that. I still feel the same shyness as I do as a kid. It's just my face does not turn red. My eyes don't water like they used to. I'm not too shy to speak up, and that's another thing too. You are going to be thrown into a pool, and it's sink or swim, There are things you can do to prepare to help yourself a little bit, but the biggest preparation is what is the reason for you doing this? If your reason is because, this is your out, because it does help a lot of people. It hurts a lot of people too, though. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody can hang with it. I had some really bad run-ins, and I encourage you to watch that video. But I'm not here to talk you out of something. I'm trying to help you prepare yourself for what you're getting into. So, straight away, treat everything like that, right? Also talk to all the drivers, man. Not all of them are real nice. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them are terminal rats. They want to tell you stories that put down people and make themselves feel really good. You're going to have to you don't have to, but I would suggest talking to them. Ask them like, hey, they're having me back up like this. And by taking it really serious, what I did was when I was in trucking school, I sucked, man. It's okay that you don't know anything, dude. I'm probably the only person on YouTube that will tell you that. You're going to trucking school to learn something. You're not going there because you're a professional already. You're going there to learn. So if you suck really bad and you don't know what you're doing, that's okay. Ask the questions and memorize and try, apply yourself, right? So the class I was in had a bunch of people that they used to drive trucks before. So their backing was easy. They backed thousands of times probably. I didn't know that when you pulled the steering wheel right, the trailer goes left. I never drove anything bigger than a Toyota Tundra or a U-Haul. So, what I did was the instructors, if you come off honest and you come off cool and you really take it serious, they want you to succeed. They're not here to screw you over. They're not here to, oh, I don't like this person, so you're gone. I mean, there are politics and stuff, but for the most part, yeah, I mean, 90% of it, if you are like, I'm having a very hard time with this backing maneuver, or, hey, I would like more time with this truck, they'll look out for you. And the way that you can show that you're worth them looking out for you and helping you is you show up there earlier at trucking school, before everybody. You ask the instructors, if I come here 30 minutes before school starts, is it okay if I go ahead and pop the hood and go over the pre-tripping? They'll say yeah. They'll probably want to be around if you're going to drive it. Of course, they have to monitor you, especially if you're brand new. But what I would do is I went there in the morning an hour early. I would eat my lunch out there instead of being in the cafeteria, and I was able to drive it in there. I also went permit student. I did permit student training. So when I had my permit, I went out and did OTR with a trainer for 3 weeks. I got stories about him. Things didn't work out so good, but those 3 weeks, I was driving the whole time. And so driving was no problem. I could control it. I felt good behind the steering wheel. What I needed to learn how to do was back. So I had to go back to school for backing, and I also, before I did the permit student training, I was out there learning how to pre-trip a truck. You typically will not be able to start driving a tractor or even connect to a trailer until you know everything underneath the engine, all the end cab, catwalk, the trailer, and they're going to grade you and test you on it. Normally that takes about a week to learn. I would suggest that's why it's good to make friends with the people in your class so that you could test each other on that. Or if you forget, hey, wait a minute, where's the alternator at? What's the proper terminology? Is it cracked, bent, or broken? Is it permanently mounted and secured, or properly mounted and secured? You do abbreviations, PMS, properly mounted and secured, not cracked, bent, or broken. No abrasions, no bulges, no cuts. All that stuff, right? And I mean, that stuff gets ingrained in your head. You test yourself and while you're testing somebody else, like somebody in your class, when they're like, okay, I'm going over this, and you're seeing if they miss anything, it's teaching you to remember it as well. So helping somebody learn to pre-trip is teaching you and helping the person, and then they're going to do it for you. And this is all a very, very strong experience. You become fast friends with people. You know what I mean? I know I did. Yeah, I got a lot of friends from school, and I was like a social butterfly. People that were actually shy and stuff, I helped them get out of their shell a little bit. I never put anybody down. I've never been like that. When somebody was just excuse me, not doing so well, I would go ahead and show them. The instructors will show them and teach them, but there could be a lot of people in your class. So you're gonna want to you're going to want to look out for people. And then the people there, like the instructors, when they saw me, everybody was better than me. But when I got really good and, I'm progressing and I'm helping other people because they're asking for help, or I see that, they're struggling and the instructors were, spread too thin, I start doing that. And then the instructor's like, hey, that guy's doing a great job. He's here before everybody. He's got a positive attitude. He's got, a team unity here. He's looking out for people. And at the same time, I still need help. But I'll help this person in the meantime. People see that I'm helping, and then it goes on. And I would really suggest doing that. So I'm going to talk about the different divisions, right? So you got reefer, which we call, refrigerated, we call it reefer. You got you got a flatbed, and you got tanker. Reefers, if you're running reefers, can also run where it's not a refrigerator, it's a dry van. Out of all those divisions, what I personally would say, reefer sucks the most, and I'm going to tell you why. It's really go, 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 go at any time, anywhere, any place. So let's say, for example, you're used to going to sleep at 8 o'clock at night, and you like to start driving at 6. You may have to do a pickup or delivery at 3 or 4 in the morning. Your hours are constantly changing of where, your drive time, your sleep hours, your schedule. You're not going to have a schedule. The way that you have a schedule at that point, if you're running a refrigerator, running reefer, is if you have a teammate. If you have a teammate, you guys can go ahead and say, let's say, for example, you have an 11-hour drive clock. Let's say that from 12 o'clock in the afternoon till 12 o'clock at midnight is the time you drive, and then you got somebody driving the day, and they drive half the day, then half the night, and then the person drives all the way from the night and gets the morning. That's a really common switch. I've done that. It's a real good way that it's equal. It's nearly it's kind of I would prefer driving from midnight to 12 in the morning. But when I first started out, I was a little bit scared driving at night. But here's the thing about that: if you were scared of driving at night, and we have a word for that. That means you're a solar powered driver. You're only somebody who drives during the daytime. You can find out real quick that those headlights, they're LEDs 99% of the time. You're sitting up higher than everybody. You are going to be able to see. Also, you're going to run a navigation system. That navigation system is going to show you the direction of the road. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not 100% sure on is this road turning to the left, you're going to learn how to read the road. And the way that you do it is just don't drive above your ability. Drive slow. Look around. Keep your head on a swivel, moving your eyes around and reading the road. It will come in time. It's not as hard as you think. It does take a while. When I first started, man, I could not. Lane control was a nightmare for me. It doesn't drive like a car. It's not like I get to keep the steering wheel straight, and keep my hands at 10 and 2, and then it's going to keep going forward. It's not a car. A car, 90% of the time you do that, and you're going straight unless it needs an alignment. It might pull to the right, pull to the left. A truck, it's constantly a little moving. Okay, a little moving, and you're watching the lane that you're in. These trucks are 90. Well, I'm used to Freightliners, so these trucks are 13.6 tall, 8.6 wide. You will be in some narrow roads. I believe the narrow roads are like, I think they claim to be 9 feet. So you only got a couple inches on each side. It just takes time and takes experience. And you're going to get that after you get your license and you're with a trainer. And that's what the research that you're going to have to do. If money is all your problem, or let's say, for example, you want a license real quick and you want to be on the road by yourself, and you'll figure it out from there. If you're one of those kind of people, maybe CR England would be good for you. I wanted, because I didn't know anything, I wanted really good experience. I wanted to be on that truck with somebody for a while. I hated being on there with somebody, but I knew it was best for me. It's like, I hate, like if you're doing homework, I hate having to do a 5,000 word essay about this subject, but I know that this is going to help me, with whatever degree I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to use an analogy here. Yes, it sucks being on a truck with another person. If you're a guy, I would suggest that you say that you only want to be with guys. That's another thing that I'll talk about that other people won't talk about. Guys seem cleaner. I know it sounds funny, but the truth is no women truckers and student truckers. I've seen trainers drop off their students, and it would be a female trainer dropping off a female student because that female student stank so bad, smelled so bad, wouldn't shower, and had opportunities to shower, and they still chose not to. They would rather play with their phone or talk to their boyfriends or whatever the hell they did. They were doing everything but washing themselves. But yeah, you have different divisions. Reefers suck the most, in my opinion. If I had to go over and do everything again, even though I've never done flatbed my life, I like doing dry van. you know, that I like dry van over reefers, and I'm going to talk about some of the reasons why. There's a lot of stuff that you have to do with reefers that you're not going to get paid for. One of them is trailer washes. Dry vans, from my experience, I mean, you might have to take a broom and sweep up something if it's, you know, some wood chips from a pallet. But no, reefers, if you go ahead and you have a meat load and you're going to have to deal with that stench, and you're being asked to go to another place to pick up. If you show up there with a dirty trailer like that, you're going to be denied. In fact, there'll be special instructions telling you, come with a clean trailer. Or they might even have, you know, and when you do that, you got to go to Blue Beacon or a place like that, and you're going to have to deal with that. When you're dealing with all that stuff, you're not getting paid anything, and you can be there between 3 to 5 hours. You could be real quick, too, like only an hour, but I'm telling you from my experience, I've been at Blue Beacon for over 5 hours before, you know? And you're not getting paid for that kind of stuff. And a lot of the like if they say that you wait too long for a live unload, they'll get paid 90% of the time. They're not going to pay you. They're mega carriers. They're skimming from the top type of stuff. You know, at least that's the way it felt with me. So if I had to do it all over again, what I would suggest, and this is why you're here, is I'd get my permit first. I'd get my tanker endorsement. I would treat the school and everybody that I talk to, and I'm not kissing anybody's butt or anything like that, as this is a job interview, because you can be asked to leave at any time, and a reputable place will likely be like that. They would rather get rid of you than you abandon the truck, you know, or you be somebody who's not going to succeed and stuff like that. And they're really good judges of character. I mean, this is what they do. It's a puppy mill. They have an idea of who's going to make it and who's not. You are supposed to put your best effort to prove that you're going to make it, so that they give you a chance, that they give you opportunity, and they're willing to help you. And the bottom line is they do want to help you. They do take their job serious. They're not there being little Napoleon Dynamites or whatever, you know, trying to get you out of there. No, they're like, oh, this person's really, this person showed up early today. Okay, he takes it serious. Yeah, of course I don't mind showing you this, and then giving you some extra info. Sorry about that, man. I felt like my sweater was choking me a little bit, but I think I might have made a mistake. I have to review my stuff, but yeah, so you got reefer, dry van, flatbed, and tanker. Tankers are basically, you're gonna be doing gasoline a whole lot of time. Those small little gasoline places, you're gonna have to pull in, and it's gonna be a nightmare. I wouldn't recommend it. There's some stuff you can do with tanker as well that's not gasoline, but I'm just talking about majority of stuff that I've seen. So if I had to start everything, you know, I'm not going to try to repeat myself or anything like that. I know that I've said some of the stuff that I've already said, but, you know, bear with me here. So if I had to do it all over again, I'd go with a mega carrier like I did. I would suggest that you do what I suggested about, you know, treat it like a job interview and do very good without kissing anybody's ass. Bottom line. I would not lease. I would not be a lease operator. And I'm going to tell you why. Your first car you ever got, if it was a brand new car, you're going to get scratches. You're going to mess it up. You may even crash it. You just got your license. If I just got my license, and just to let you know that these vehicles, these commercial vehicles, are roughly $150,000, and they put about $30,000 or $40,000 into it on safety stuff, from the cameras to the ELD to the lane departure systems to the following distance, from the all that stuff, man. They throw about $30,000 or $40,000 into it, so now it's about a $180,000 vehicle. So let's say you just got your license. Do you think it's a good idea to get a Lamborghini? I mean, Lamborghini is about $200,000, right? Do you think it's a good idea that your very first vehicle is a brand new Lamborghini when you just got your license? No. Right? Same thing. You are going to hit curbs. You are going to take some signs out. You are going to park in places that are easy for you to back into, but other people are going to back in, and you may or may not wake up when they you know, hit your front end or take your mirrors off. You're paying out of pocket. You know what I'm saying? You know, if you go on home time and you leave your tractor and trailer at a drop yard, you may come back and somebody done messed up your shit really bad, dude. I would not suggest it. Another thing too, when they're like, you know, the people that are lease operators, they'll go ahead and say some stuff like, you know, I only take loads that I want. That's what they say to you, right? the truth is because I was trained by somebody who was a lease operator, right? I talked to dozens of them. You know, my lease operator, he has only ever turned down one load that was given to him, and when he did that, he had to sit for 3 days. The sales team put down the, basically put the screws to the dispatcher. Like, wait, he turned down this load? Well, then he's not going to make anything for 3 days, and the next time that we give him a load, he's going to do it. And you're actually more in debt. That's another thing I want to talk about. You're in debt when you leave trucking school, and not just the money that you owe them and the time that you got to go and work there. Those snow chains, right? Those snow chains you're getting charged for. You're getting charged for the straps or the load bars, right? You're getting charged for just a padlock back there. There's also a lot of stuff that you need, and quite frankly, they'll let you put that, like, as a company driver, they'll let you put that stuff on onto the truck, and you owe them, and they'll take that out of your first check or a payment program. So let's say, for example, you're at Swift and you it's a little Swift store, you get yourself a mattress, at the terminal. You charge your truck, and they're like, okay, and some of those my mattress, the one I got, I spent top dollar on. It was $500, and they took that out of my first paycheck. You need a navigation system. At the time when I got a navigation system in 2020, it was $500. Yeah, and I wanted a Garmin. That was what I was used to. I also wanted there's a lot of stuff that you need for the truck. And most of the time, they're happy to give it to you, but at a price. So when you leave that place, you're in debt. And that's what they want. Excuse me. They want you to be in debt so that you stay in the truck longer. Anything to keep you in the truck longer and making them money, they're okay with. And that's the bottom line. And that's how businesses work. So I don't take it personal. However, why should I be charged with snow chains? Do you think I would ever steal them? Do you think I would use them for anything? Let me tell you something about snow chains since we're on the subject. You put them on to get out of trouble, not to get into it. There's under no circumstances would I ever put snow chains on and go through a blizzard. If the chain laws pop up, I pull off. I'm not doing it. And there's anybody who's got a brain would do that. At least that's how I feel. And I'm not trying to hurt anybody who doesn't have a brain. I'm just saying I don't think it's very wise. So if I was to do it all over again, I would do flatbed. I wouldn't go lease. I would do flatbed, and I would do teams. I did teams when I was out there at OTR by myself. I asked for a team member because I got a new truck, and I basically said that I would be willing to do it, but I wanted to be out on my own for a while before I did that. I wouldn't just jump into teams with somebody that I got along with at trucking school. If you're there and you're with your wife or your husband and you want to run teams, oh, absolutely. I mean, you guys are basically joined at the hip, anyways. Now you guys are basically making two really big incomes, all going underneath the same household. You guys are gonna be golden, right? Teams make more money. I remember when I went to go ahead and I was talking to some other senior drivers. They're like, "What do you mean you would do teams? You won't make that much money." That's another thing too. The dispatchers are quite stupid, or they give you false information to help them out. Of course, they would love for you to run lease. You're responsible for it. Here's a great thing. If you stuck this far and you're really serious, wait till I drop this gem on you, dude. When you go ahead and lease from a mega carrier, you're paying about $1,000 to $1,500 a week. Okay, let's say it's $1,100, and let's say you got to pay for insurance, and the insurance is $400 a week. Now you're at $1,500. Not to mention you still have to make fuel prices, right? If you have a and when you do all this stuff, they normally will set you up with an LLC because you're running as a business. If you have an LLC in good standing for 3 years, you can go to Freightliner dealership, and as long as your credit's okay and you got a down payment, you can get a truck there, and for a month, your payment is literally $1,000 to $1,500 a month. So what you used to pay a week is now a month. Think about how much extra money that goes in your pocket. You have to have your LLC for 3 years, and it's got to be good standing, and you have to have a down payment, and you got to show that you've been making some money to do it, right? But think about the differences. Yeah, you can get you lease this now, and look how much more extra you're paying, right? These trucking companies aren't going to tell you what Freightliner charges you, but I know they charge. That's what they charge, man. And if you and when you go ahead, if you went through Freightliner, at that point you can go to any trucking company you want, and you're basically underneath their umbrella, or you can go ahead and start your own authority. But this is how you become a truck driver. You shouldn't, in my opinion, you shouldn't be jumping all into there. Be a company driver. I would do flatbed, and I would run teams. And with flatbed, the hardest thing, if you weren't doing flatbed, let's say reefer, the hardest thing is was your trainer good, man? And here's some more gems for you, man. If your trainer doesn't let you back up, if you don't feel comfortable enough for that trainer to get out of that vehicle and you back into any spot, no matter if it's a 90-degree back, 45, or a straight back, whatever the case may be, you don't belong into a truck without having that knowledge. A lot of trainers will just treat you like a steering wheel holder because you're making them money while you're driving. Yeah, you're gonna pull up, you're gonna build up your stamina, your driving stamina. Like even to this day, I can drive over 12 hours straight and not break a sweat. You know what I'm saying? I have stamina. I can sit there. I know what to do. If I get tired, I know what to do. You know what I mean? And yeah, I'm just saying that I can do it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I would go ahead and I'd run teams, and with my trainer, I'd make sure, and that's where it lands on you. Don't tell me you have a bad trucking experience when you're trying to find your education. Like, I have a great education. I quit trucking for other reasons, but my education, I was solid. When I got my own truck, I was more than ready. When I had a team member and my team member didn't know how to back very much, I showed him what to do. It does kind of suck having somebody in there, but the truth is they're sleeping while you drive. It's not like when you're, okay, you can't have the radio up too loud. That's basically it, or, if you're having a conversation in that front seat, and you're on the highway, that person in the back seat, it doesn't care what the conversation is. He's not eavesdropping. And if he or she is, then, you just say you want somebody else. It's not a problem. They'll get you a new team member. But with a trainer and stuff, if you're not getting what you want from a trainer, you tell dispatch. And maybe maybe everybody else that have gotten their trucks already. But you take your education that serious where it's like, wait a minute, I haven't had a chance to back in over 2 weeks. And this guy, when he's teaching me to back, he's getting frustrated. He's not telling me what to do. He's telling me to move out of the seat, and he backs it up. You don't want a trainer like that. You get a trainer like that, you call your dispatch. You call your dispatch and you say, not dealing with it, man. I need somebody who's going to be willing to show me. And thank goodness that I had a great trainer when it came to that. When I had my license, dude I rolled with taught me everything. Taught me how to follow my wills. Had built me for success. This guy had been driving for over 20 years. Had been training people for 3 years. This guy, and him caring and him doing all that stuff, it wasn't like he got more money for that. He just figured that was, basically what he's here for. Like, you ever go to a barber and the barber just, who's cutting your hair hates life? Or what about the barber who shows up that just loves helping people, and he's there to cut your hair and do a fantastic job because he cares that much? Which barber do you want? You know what I'm saying? Now, you don't have to go ahead and, that's just a sliding scale. You don't have to use that as a perfect example. But basically, find somebody who's going to teach you what you want. If he's not teaching you how to use your macros, if he's not teaching you how to use your ELD, if he does not teaching you how to use your Garmin, how to fill up fuel, how to actually take your brakes, how to pre-plan, how to pre-trip. You should already know how to pre-plan. Pre-trip, pre-planning, looking for stuff, right? Pre-planning is huge. When I'm behind when I'm driving an 18-wheeler, there is nothing that I don't know. And what I mean is when I'm driving down the road, I know that if this exit, this exit that's coming up, I know I'm taking that exit. I know that I can go ahead and make this left-hand turn. I know that where the docks are going to be because I called before, or there's a lot of stuff. Like, basically that truck doesn't do anything that you don't tell it to do. And that's what makes you a professional. It's not that, that you have a license that was very hard to acquire. That doesn't make you the professional. The professional is that because you're not just jumping in a car and going to Wendy's. you are in a commercial vehicle. It's an 80,000 pound vehicle gross weight. This vehicle will do things that it's a tank. Essentially, it's a tank, and you take that very seriously, and you make sure. And it's not like it's a lot of stress being a truck driver, but you go ahead and you're a professional because you try to cross your T's and dot your I's and know everything. If I miss this, if I pull in too late at this truck stop, do I have 3 other addresses? Does my Garmin know that, okay, the next one is 50 miles from here, I'll go find here and shut down there. So along with that, with the trainer, if you decide that, that you aren't ready to get off that truck, but you like your trainer, but you need a little bit more experience, you let dispatch know. You let your trainer know. And if your trainer's like, I'm sorry, I just, I'm at a cutoff, then you tell the dispatcher, and they'll respect the fact. They'll respect the fact that you are still asking for help, and they'll roll with it, most of the time, right? I mean, it's worth it. It's a lot better than holding and bottling it in and going in like, I wasn't taught how to drive, so that's why I got my CDL and never used it. No, there was people that I went to school with, and within the first week of OTR with a trainer, and they're on the road, they quit, and they go, now the one particular person quit. And when they quit, they decided to take a job selling cell phones. Selling cell phones, making minimum wage. If that's what makes you happy, but why did you go to the school? I mean, remember the why. Remember the purpose. That's something that they don't talk about in other videos. If, for example, you really don't want another person in the truck because you're just burnt out, I would learn flatbed. I wish I would learn flatbed. I think I would have had a better experience. At least more, more of a skill set. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead and run solo then. If you are with a mega carrier, some of them will pay you more for driving a lightweight condo. The difference between a full-size condo and a lightweight is about 5 cents. Like, let's say, for example, some companies will pay you 50 cents per mile. If you drive a full size, and then 55, that 5 extra cents is about $100 extra a week, which, in a month, that's $400 more. It's substantial. The lightweights, they will add more weight because your tractor weighs less. So those trailers are going to be a lot heavier. If I remember correctly, to get a refrigerator in there, you'll either have to take one of your cupboards out. Sometimes the lightweights only have one cupboard. It all depends. I think with, things change. You'll have to take one of your cupboards out, and you don't have a top bunk. It's about, the difference between it is about 2,000 pounds. So a lightweight's 2,000 pounds less than a full-size condo. You'll have to take out one of your cupboards, and you don't have a top bunk. So you can't store anything up top, like, basically your luggage bag or whatever, or your food. And you'll have to take your one of your compartments out of storage to fit a refrigerator, or you got to take the passenger seat out. What sucks about that is if you were like, oh, well, I don't really, because you're new to trucking. Oh, I really don't need that passenger seat. I mean, what would I put on there? I mean, a refrigerator still has a top to it. You know how many times I've had to pull over on the side of a highway, and when I pull on the side of a highway, I don't get out of the driver's door. I get out of that passenger door. I want a nice clear area, and I want a nice clear area to come in. Sometimes you need coolant. Sometimes it's just as easy as just, I did regional, I did 2 jobs of regional nighttime driving. So I was home every single day, but I drove at night. Instead of me pulling in truck stops to pee, I pulled over the side of the road, hit my hazards, and I pop out the passenger side and do what I had to do, and then come back in. I wouldn't want to do that, and I did an OTR too. I didn't, it wasn't like I was stopping every 15, 20 seconds or, every 15, 20 minutes. I'm talking about, every 4 or 5 hours. So, if I couldn't find a place in time and I really had to go, I pull over to the side of the road, turn my hazards on, and why I do that, I'm checking my load as well. So I'm staying cool, and I don't stay there more than a couple of minutes. But yeah. If you were to roll, I would say flatbed. Reefer sucks the most. So with my advice, best case scenario, you run teams. You could run teams with reefer or with flatbed. I would go flatbed. I would do that the first year. Second year, I would go ahead and get a lease. I mean, this looks good on paper at least, right? I mean, you never know because everybody's experience changed. Second year, I would get a lease, and it'd be a short-term lease or a lease where no, you can cancel early, so early cancellation without being charged, or if you did get charged, if it made sense. With that one, I would do training, and then I would do that for 2 years, and then a third year, because I've already had my my LLC in good standing, I would go to Freightliner, and because that's what I like. I know they're cookie cutters. I've driven Pete's, I've driven Internationals, I've driven Max, I've driven all sorts of trucks. I like Freightliners. Has the best turning radius. Yes, the suspension sucks. They suck in all of them. I never driven a Volvo though. I heard they're horrible, like especially the steering wheel, like how it feels. But nonetheless, that's exactly what I would do. Yeah, if I was to restart and I wasn't so jaded, and but I encourage you watch my videos of why I quit trucking and truck driving experiences, because I go into some of the stuff. When I did OTR, it wasn't too bad. I mean, what was bad was is that I was dehydrated by the time I got off the truck. No home time, basically, flat out, and stuff like that. And then when I went regional and I did local, that's where 99% of my stuff happened. Just to give you an idea, I've had in 2 different occasions people pull the 4th of July out on me. The ratchets. You catch my drift. This is YouTube. So I have to be careful about what I say, but I've had 2 occasions where they did that. I've had a lot of occasions where they want me to break rules, and toxic dispatchers, toxic people in offices, drivers turning on people. Just check that video out. I also encourage you to check out the video of why I'm homeless, so you get an understanding of that. I do have a Cash App. I'm not on here begging. If you want to show some love and bless me, that'd be cool. Cash App will be in the description. It's the same as my YouTube name, AlienAscend. I have a Patreon. Nobody's joined it yet. I know that I'm a small YouTube channel, so it's going to be a while before anybody does. I have 1 video on there. At the moment, not going to be making more videos until at least 1 person joins. I have a hard time making videos if I don't have an audience. You know what I'm saying? I also encourage you to subscribe. I do homeless content. I do survival content. I do like vlogs. I got like a lot of ideas. I post a video every single day, so I ask that you rock with me. Comments, liking it, and subscribing really helps me out. And thank you so much.